Hello everyone, my name is Manya and today we have with us Shruthi and she has been selected for the job role of graduate engineer trainee at our college campus VIT Vellore's on-campus placement process for the company Mercedes-Benz. So today she will be sharing her whole placement process experience with us. So hello Shruthi, how are you doing?
Hello, Manya. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also good. So can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Shruthi Maheshwari from Chennai. I'm pursuing my BTech Mechanical Engineering from VIT Vellore. I'm a final year student now. Thank you.
Okay. So now, first of all, I will be telling about the eligibility criteria and then we will be moving forward with our discussion. So first of all, the first eligibility criteria is of the branch. So the branches eligible were mechanical, production and industrial and automotive engineering. So the people from these branches only were eligible to apply for it. So another eligibility criteria was of gender. That means only females were allowed to apply for this company. Next eligibility criteria was of CGPA. That means everyone who had CGPA above 6 in 10th, 12th, and in undergraduate were allowed to apply for this. Now, moving forward, let's see the flowchart of it. So this is the flowchart of the whole placement process, and everything is mentioned here. Now, let's move forward and see everything in the flowchart in detail. So, first of all, the screening test. So, Shruti, can you tell us about the screening test and the duration of it as well?
Yeah, the screening test was about 30 minutes and there were 40 questions. The screening test was divided into three sessions. Sections. First was aptitude section and it had 15 questions of aptitude, 5 questions of verbal ability and 20 questions of core mechanical engineering. The aptitude questions were normal, like logical reasoning, speed in time, age, and normal aptitude questions, which we give for other companies as well. Verbal abilities were only 5 questions and they were not related to grammar. Core mechanical engineering, they were concentrated about the subjects like mechanics, manufacturing, and materials. The test was based on these subjects.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, how many questions did you attempt?
I attempted all 40 questions because there was no negative marking.
All right, that's great. Now, let's move forward and see about the technical interview. So, technical interview, can you share your experience with us?
Yeah. Basically, technical interview was like it was my first interview for any company in the whole placement season. So
Oh,
I was a bit nervous about it, but I tried to be as calm as possible so that I answer my questions in a better way. In a
yeah.
better way. Yeah. So in the technical interview, they asked us about the projects, introduction about us, and which was general, and they asked about us, about the projects, and you need to write appropriate things on the CV. Whatever things which were written in the CV, they asked questions related to that, about the internships which we have done, and about the technical subjects like thermodynamics, heat transfer, mechatronics, automotive safety systems. And now, as we all know, that EV systems have been coming, so there were questions about the EV vehicles as well.
Okay.
The technical interview was bit explanatory. They asked us to draw some diagrams and like explain about few concepts. Like, for example, I was asked about to explain stress strain curves and what were the different sections of it. So it was bit explanatory. The duration of the technical interview was 30 minutes and it was conducted in MS Teams.
All right. So, after screening test, how many people were selected for the technical interview?
So after screening tests, there were 132 people selected for the technical interview.
Okay.
And before the technical interview, we had two sessions, which one session was about the interview process, how will the interview process go on, and
Okay.
one session was just 1 hour before the interview, regarding the company, what all the company does, what would be our role, detail about the our
Okay.
role.
Okay. That's great. Now, okay, so after technical interview, how many people were selected for the next round? That was managerial round.
So after technical interview, there was 66 people who were selected for the managerial round.
Okay.
Uh,
So, can you tell us in detail about the managerial round as well?
yeah. So in the managerial round, there were introduction about your family background, what all the projects you have done, and if we lag behind something in the technical interview, that was
Hmm.
asked again in the managerial interview to check whether if we correct our mistakes and how much we are concerned about our mistakes.
Okay.
And there were questions regarding the projects, internships, as well, even in the managerial interview. And there were questions about basic details of Benz, history of Benz, what does the logo of Benz represent, what is the motto of Mercedes Benz, and basic details of about the company, where is its plant located, and all the basic details. There were questions asked like, why should they hire me? What what is the speciality which makes Mercedes Benz so special? Strengths and weaknesses. And the managerial interview was also of 30 minutes, and half of the managerial interview was about technical. Even technical questions were asked in the managerial round, but the managerial round was very fast. It was like rapid fire. You need to be very
Okay.
quick while
Yeah.
replying.
So that was very intense round that you mentioned. All right. So now let's move forward and see about the next round. So after managerial round, like how many people were eliminated again for the HR interview?
The half people were eliminated, and 33 people were selected for the HR interview. There
Okay.
was a list circulated which
Hmm.
mentioned that you have cleared technical and managerial interview. So 33 people were selected.
All right. So for the HR interview, what was your experience and the duration as well?
Yeah, the HR interview was not an eliminatory round.
Hmm.
All the 33 who were selected for HR interview got selected, and it was basic about your college, about the experience of recruitment in Mercedes Benz,
Hmm.
job location, CTC, and some doubts, family background, like basic details.
Okay.
What are your future prospects? Only about that.
Okay. So that wasn't an elimination round. So everyone was selected after that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
duration of the round was only 10 minutes.
Hmm.
So it was just a normal discussion.
Okay. So now let's move on to our next section. That is the most important section of this video. That is tips. So what tips would you like to give to other people who will be appearing for the placement process of Mercedes-Benz?
The tips I would like to give about to appear in the Mercedes Benz placement processes, you need to be very much prepared before the company approaches you, or even after the company approaches you, because the placement process was very quick. Ninth we had the test, ninth evening we had the test, 9th of November, and on 10th of November we got the results. 11th morning we had technical interview, and in the afternoon we had managerial interview. So
Oh.
the time for getting prepared was very less. So you need to be prepared earlier so that you get into the process, like you get through the process.
Yeah.
And the Mercedes Benz process was on all over India process. So
Okay.
basically you need to, there would be a high competition, so you need to be prepared. And some basic subjects like thermodynamics, heat transfer, automotive mechatronics, and like these days there are EVs going through, so you need to be prepared about those topics very well. So when you are prepared about it, and even about the managerial interviews, like your strengths and weakness, about the basic research about the companies,
Yeah.
logos, the models of the cars, EV models as well, because these are the latest thing.
So the research about the company beforehand, it is mandatory for the every company that you apply, right?
Yeah, that is mandatory for every company you apply, and you need to go through about it like thoroughly, not just rough.
Yes.
You need to be thorough about the company.
All right. So that was it for the tips, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that was very insightful, and thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. And we come to the end of our session today. Thank you very much for joining.
thank you.